To throw a little bit more cold water on all of these Republicans out there praising Donald Trump for being so much smarter than all of us with his tariff plan, getting exactly what he wanted and planned for this entire time, right? No, he didn't. And you know how we know that? First and foremost, because Donald Trump literally told us that that's not why he did it. He did it because, in his words, people were getting queasy. But it turns out there was actually one person that was getting queasy that actually got to Donald Trump, and he did it in an exceptionally smart way. Not that I ever love to praise bankers, but I have to give full credit to JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, credit where credit is due. He went on Fox News on Wednesday morning before Trump paused the tariffs with host Maria Bartiromo. And during that interview, Dimon warned, if Trump keeps doing this, we're going to a recession. He said, exactly, he warned a recession was a likely outcome, his words, and then said, I'm taking a calm view, but it could get worse. So why does that matter? Well, for one, while Dimon was on the air, Donald Trump tweeted out a quote from him, not the recession warning, something else that, he said in passing, and Trump was like, ooh, that sounds good for me. I'll put that out on Truth Social. But according to insiders who spoke to the Wall Street Journal, Jamie Dimon didn't just do this because he was bored and wanted to go on TV. He did it intentionally because he knew that Trump would be watching that show at that time. So he was able to deliver his message not to the American public, but to an audience of one, an audience of only Donald Trump. He took a big gamble. Maybe Donald Trump was doing something else and didn't have time to watch it, but the gamble paid off because Trump was watching and paused the tariffs. Again, that is according to people close to the situation who spoke to the Wall Street Journal. They said, the interview had been scheduled for a while, but Dimon knew this was his chance to basically manipulate Donald Trump. And he did it like a pro. And Trump didn't even know it. But the manipulation helps the country, so good on Jamie Dimon. Probably the only time in your life you've done something to help other people, even if it was mostly self-serving. And again, the reason we know this is the cause is because Donald Trump, when announcing the pause on tariffs, said this. I watched Jamie Dimon and Maria Bartiromo's show this morning, and he was very good. He said that actually made the statement to the effect that something had to be done with the tariffs and trade. He said, look, at some point, but he said something has to be done with tariffs and trade. Good God. This man can't form a sentence to save his life. Like, I'm sitting here trying to read it, thinking maybe I'm having a stroke, but these are his words, like word for word what Trump said, and none of it makes any sense. I'm sorry to have to interject this weird little diatribe, but if I continued reading, I was probably going to have a stroke. So let me try to finish it. He's very smart and very genius. He's very smart and very genius. Well, that makes one of you. He's done a fantastic job at the bank, and he knows that. Everybody knows that anybody that's even a little bit smart knows it. God. Everybody knows that. Anybody that's even a little bit smart knows it. What the hell? These aren't even sentences. These aren't even thoughts. It wasn't sustainable what was happening. Somebody had to pull the trigger. I was willing to pull the trigger. You speak like a 4-year-old. You really just genuinely, you have the mentality of a 3 or 4-year-old. It's insane. But anyway, the bottom line, I'm sorry to get so off track here. The bottom line is that Jamie Dimon went on Fox News, knew Trump was watching and manipulated him. But I think the bigger story is the fact that the president of the United States can't form a fucking sentence, folks. That seems like a problem. This is the guy we're supposed to believe created a master plan for tariffs to put them on, then take them off, and put them on, and take them off, and put them on, and take them off for 3 months. No, he doesn't know what's going to come out of his mouth next. He doesn't know if it's going to be a complete thought, a complete sentence. He doesn't know if he has enough adjectives and verbs and nouns to actually make a sentence. He just bleh. And that's what that was. So no, he is not a guy that has a plan. He is not thinking long term. He's not even thinking next sentence. And it drives me insane that anybody out there thinks, oh, he did it well. He planned it from the start. No, he didn't. He got played by the entire world. Jamie Dimon saw it and decided to do a little manipulating of his own. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.